boo. That ain't nobody but my baby daddy, okay? Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Tease Me Thursday, where today Chicka D will be talking about baby daddies. But not in the negative way that you are thinking. Because when you hear the word baby daddy, what do you think of? Ain't nothing positive come out your mouth. So today we'll be changing the negative and bringing some positivity to the word baby daddy and talking about what it means to be a great father. So let's get into this greatness. As always, let me put my disclaimers out there. I know I am not a mother, so technically I don't have no baby daddy. But I do know some amazing fathers who just so happen to fall into the category of being a baby daddy. And for me, I feel like especially our black men have too much going on right now to be trying to fight for their title of being a great father. So there's some things that we need to alleviate off their plate. And this is going to be one of them. So let's get into this greatness. Not only did I interview my friends this week, I also interviewed my father. And so I wanted to start off with this statement that he said to me. He said that you don't have to have $1 million to be a great father. You just have to be present. I was like, that's it. That's all. That's all they need to hear. But I have some really good stuff and some great wisdom. So please stick in with me until the end. So when I asked my friends, okay, when you hear the word baby daddy, how does that make you feel? Just like baby mama, ain't nothing good come out their mouth. I'm not just a baby daddy. I'm not falling into that negative category or stereotype of a bad father. Because when you think of baby daddy, you think of a deadbeat daddy, somebody who was an absentee father, somebody who was just a paycheck to the mother, nothing good. So that's how they feel, and they know that's how they feel. One of my friends said that no matter what you do, once in a blue moon, as a baby daddy, your name is gonna always be dragged through the dirt. And I was like, yo, that's actually fair. And so I was like, okay, so in order to be a baby daddy, you have to technically not be with your child's mother. So how is that transition phase from being a couple to now being single parents and having to co-parent? And they were like, everything that you guys once discussed in the past is now null and void. It all goes out the window. The friendship that you had, the agreements that you made, the decisions that you guys made together, even as co-parents, it's like it goes out the window. It goes in one ear, out the other. And one of them said that mothers feel like because they are the mom and they always have the baby, they feel like they have all the power. And that doesn't make them feel good at all, especially when they want to be present in their child's life. And so one of them said that it's pretty evident that the good guys get treated the worst. So guys who want to be present in their lives have a bigger fight to fight than guys who don't even care about being a daddy at all. They just get put on child support and be left alone. Well, the good guys, they want to be present, still get put on child support and still go through hell. And so one of them said that the worst thing that they can have is a strong black female with a strong black mother behind her fighting him. I was like, yo, that's true in any situation. Baby daddy, baby mama, friend, no friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, just a friend in general, okay? So I understand that. But they were saying that moms pretty much force fathers to give up their rights, especially when they are not on good terms or when she is pretty much in her feelings about some things, especially their relationship. And so I was like, okay, so where does that turn? It was like, well, if you're a good dad, you're going to want to fight for your child. So you're going to go to court. You're going to go through mediation. You're going to go through all of these things to fight for your child. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that comes with that is fear. And they were saying that it's a fear that their child won't know who their father is, or their child not being able to be a part of their father's life, or them not being able to be a part of their child's life. One of my friends said the whole court situation is one of the reasons why some dads just give up. They just give up. Simply because, again, they got a black mother in their baby mama ear, fighting her, creating all kind of stuff just to make it seem like he's just a horrible father. The finances that goes into all these court fees and paperwork and stuff like that. And one of my friends said that women need to remember too that even though it is a known thing that women put men on child support, men can put women on child support too. And men can take women to court as well. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a mama, okay, you always want me to pay for this, want me always had a child, whatever like that, you ain't doing what you do, okay, I might as well have primary custody. So one of my friends said that that's something that they want all women to be mindful of. But they was like, in general, the biggest thing that comes with all of this is fear. And I was like, I never actually really heard anybody say that. And one of my friends, as well as my dad, said that women need to allow men to be fathers instead of a paycheck. Because it's so easy to just say, oh, I'm going to put you on child support because you ain't doing what I want you to do. But how are you guys effectively communicating? Are you emotionally still affected? You know, what is really going on? What is the underlying situation? And so my friend said it is a lot of double standards when it comes down to men and women, especially when it comes down to the transition of dating again. And I was like, yo, that makes sense. Because they're like, if I'm already fighting a fight to try to keep my child up in my life, I'm gonna need somebody to help me out. So when I start dating, don't try to comfort me, especially when you've been out here trying to date as well. And I was like, that's fair, because a lot of females I know, when they, you know, a single mom and they looking for a new partner, they're like, yeah, I'm trying to find my child a stepdaddy. And so I was like, that's fair to say. And this double standard is that women can go and have fun and hang out with their friends or be around certain guys and have the child with them. But if a guy was to do the same thing, it's a bigger issue. And I was like, I can understand that firsthand, because I dated somebody who, before we started talking, I didn't know they had a child on the way. So I was with somebody who had a newborn. And when the whole dating phase came around, when she started dating somebody else, she could take the baby out with her and around her guy friends. But it was a problem when the baby was with me. And so I asked, why is that? It's for men and women. Nobody wants to feel replaced. My female friend said the same thing. I don't need you having my child around some females and y'all acting like y'all family. And my guy friend said the same thing. I don't need you trying to bring in no man trying to replace me as a father. Especially when I am a father who wants to be present in my child's life. And so I was like, okay, that's fair. And when it comes down to dating too, I grew up in a household with a mom and a stepdad. My mom started dating my stepdad when I was 2. They got married when I was 5. My father was originally from Florida, but he moved to Indiana because I'm from Chicago. So at least he could be closer to me. And my stepmom, well, technically she's not my stepmom because they never got married, but they were together the longest and during that period of me growing up. And so she was from Indiana, so he was still able to be close to me. But his thing was, okay, we just have to have a certain level of communication between myself, your mother, and your stepdad. We have to have some boundaries. Okay, I respect you. Thank you for taking in my child. When it comes down to discipline, okay, let me do the discipline physically. If you feel like there's something that needs to be addressed, let me know. We can talk about it, and you know, we can move forward from there. But don't put your hands on my child. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to certain levels of boundary and respect when it comes down to both parties dating again. And so I was like, okay, so as a father, with having that fear of something always, or there not being a guarantee that you'll be able to be present in your child's life the way that you want, how does it make you feel by not being that primary parent or not being as active as you want? And what is the most what is an appropriate amount of time that you feel should be granted to the father of him spending time with his child? So first they were like, one of my friends said that there is really no set time that you can put on me spending time with my child. They said weekends aren't enough. 2 days, 3 days aren't enough. One of them said that month to month is pretty good. But then you have to go with them being in school and all of that stuff. So that becomes, a hassle. But as far as like not being the primary parent, as a father, they said it hurts. But the only thing that they care about is knowing that their child is okay. And I was like, okay, that's fair. They said, though, going back in terms with fear, they said with them not being the primary parent or being able to be around their child as much, it's the fear of not being able to teach your child the importance that a father is supposed to teach a child. So like, not only is a father important to be a part of a son's life, a father is definitely needed when it comes down to raising a girl. Because my dad was like, yeah, first of all, no son of mine gonna be 4, 5, 6 years old still sitting on the toilet. You're gonna be peeing standing up if it's my choice. And for a female, I need to teach my daughter that no man will ever love you the way that I love you. And if they tell you they do, they better imitate my love for you. And there are certain things that I feel like fathers definitely need to teach their daughters, because for me, I'm gonna give you an example. It's kind of weird. My dad was one of those blunt kind of dads, and when he and my stepmom broke up or whatever like that, and he was out dating, we was having that dad talk, the boy talk or whatever like that, and he was just talking about the importance of love and the importance of valuing yourself and your body. And he was, teaching me that whole thing, especially when camera phones was new and people sending pictures to each other. Don't do that. And he literally texted a female and was like, yo, send me a picture of, everything. And she did. And he showed it to me. He was like, I'm just showing you this to show you that no matter what a man say, oh, just send it to me. This gonna be between me and you. I ain't gonna share between nobody out, nobody like that. Just like that, he out with his boys, or just like me, he can show it to anybody at any time. And so I feel like it is very important for fathers to be a part of their daughters' lives, because there are some things that some moms just can't teach a child, whether that is a boy or a girl. And again, I give props to my Black women, or just mothers in general. You guys are the powerhouse of this world, but there are just some things that women cannot teach children that men are required to be a part of. That's just me being fair. I'm just saying, don't cuss me out. And so my dad was saying that it is important for dads to be a part of their child's life, because this is something he told me all the time. He was like, I can do everything in the world for you but one thing, and that one thing is marrying you. Everything else is on the table. Whatever you need, I'm there to do. Whatever issue you have, I'm here for you. And I feel like that's something that every little girl needs to know. My daddy gonna be there for me no matter what. My daddy gonna love me the way that I'm supposed to be loved. My daddy gonna do whatever it is I need for him to do. And so if you ain't matching that, you not supposed to be in my life. And at first I thought that was weird, but as I grew up, I understood that statement more and more. And so I was like, okay. So saying that, like, what are responsibilities that you feel like men who are fathers or are about to be fathers should know? What are the responsibilities of a father? And it's like protection, somebody to look up to, whether that is a boy or a girl. It's just certain teachings that are required by a man to do for a son and for a daughter. A certain child is supposed to have a certain admiration for their father. Again, whether that is for a male or a female. One of them was just like, no matter how horrible my day was. When I come home and see my child and they run and hug me, or they're like, daddy, 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 I missed you, jumping on you, you just tired, you just ready to go to sleep. It is the most fulfilling thing that they feel every day. You know what I'm saying? Everything else goes out the window. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. But that's one of my friends who is just really a great father. And he actually has 3 children. He got 3 boys. And he one of them was just like, the biggest thing that they love is Father's Day. Because that's something that a lot of people don't recognize. And the fact that you can say proudly that I am here for Father's Day, I am present on Father's Day, my children are present on Father's Day, I am represented on Father's Day, that is something that every person is supposed to look forward to. And if you can't look forward to that, then you're doing something wrong, pretty much. One of them said that, discipline is really a prime responsibility of being a father too. And not just beating your child, but there are certain disciplinary factors that plays into a child's upbringing, especially when they get to a certain age. They know why certain things aren't okay. Nobody want to hear the word no, but as you get older, you understand why no was important. They were saying, like, people always feel like the responsibility of a father is just a paycheck. I need to provide you with food, clothes, toys, car seats, whatever like that. I am more than just a provider financially. I am supposed to be a provider in all aspects of being a parent. One of them said that when it comes down to being a father, is that somebody is always looking at you. When your child go to school, what are they saying about their daddy? When how your child present themselves in class, okay, that is a representation that you have a good, strong foundation in your home, or a strong father in your life, or a father that's present in your life. That should be something that, if you are a present father, that's something that should be represented through your child. And y'all, I'm almost done because I know this video is like really long, but I really had some good conversation with these men. And so one of my dad said that there are 2 types of fathers. And so when it comes down to responsibilities, it might be a little altered, because you have the dads who had examples in their lives growing up, who had a father, and then you have dads who didn't have a father, so they're trying to be a father that they never had. And so mainly it'll all have the same underlying responsibilities or the same concept of being a father, but things can be done differently because you don't know, or and so that can make a huge difference when it comes down to you being a father and how you're raising your children, or being a part of your child's life in general. And this page is just fully my dad. My father said this is important that fathers should know and that children should understand. My dad does say this all the time. He was like, I'm gonna always be your father, I'm gonna never be your friend. And I was like, dang. But I understand, because there's a certain line that you have to draw. As you get older, I might have a drink with you. We might have fun. We can kick it. We can play games. We can do this and a third. I have your back. I do whatever. I give you advice. We can have a good conversation. But I will never be your friend, because a friend is somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear. A father is somebody who's going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm not going to feed into your drama. I'm not going to feed into your ego. I'm going to feed into what's right and what's wrong and what you need to know to better you. And I was like, that makes sense. And that's something that I feel like a lot of mothers should consider too, especially when it comes down to a mother and a daughter, because there are some lines that can be drawn sometimes. Same with my mom. Like, my mom always said the same thing. Me and my mom might be really close, but there's a line where I know, okay, there's just certain lines I can't cross. There are certain things I just can't say. There are certain things that we just won't be able to do together. Because my mom is my mom. She's also my soror, but you know, I can't say she my friend, but she my friend. That's my girl. We don't always get along all the time, but that's my girl. It's a boundary. It's a certain line of respect that is made clear from childhood. And so just drawing all of this together, my dad was saying that there are different levels of love that mothers and fathers show. Fathers love their daughters and their sons differently than a mother love, you know, their child. There's a certain level of security that a father can bring, that a certain level of security that a mother can bring. There are just certain feelings that are ignored by fathers, especially just men in general, where they feel like men can't be emotional, whatever like that. But there were times where when it was time for me to go back home, my dad cried because he had to take me back home. And so it's just things that aren't considered when it comes down to looking at the picture of what it means to be a father, or how being a father makes fathers feel. And so that was pretty much it, to just like wrap everything up. One thing that my dad said he did want me to mention was that there's a thing called breaking generational curses. Don't feel like because your family has a generation of doing things the same way don't mean that you have to fall into that stigma as well. Like, and he used my uncle as an example, where my uncle had 3 boys. He ended up getting prime custody of his boys, and he moved from Florida to Arizona, and he became a single father. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't think of what it means to be a single father. And so he was just like, you know, when things get tough, don't fall short of your generational curses. Break them. Fight for what you believe in and for what you want, even if it hurts you sometimes. Even if you gotta cry, just do it, but fight for what you want. And so this was the last thing that he said as a father, the importance of being a father and what fathers should know. He said to be diligent in your actions, consistent with your love, having the importance in transparency, whether that's emotions, empathy, compassion, etc. And as a father, love requires no response, meaning that there is no need for a thank you, and there's no need for you giving me back or showing me or feeling like you owe me anything. So being a father means that love requires no response. And so I thought that was really, really powerful, and that's something that I wanted to end with. I know this was like a really long video, but like I said, men, especially our Black men, have so much they have to fight for already. Proving their loyalty to being a part of their child's life shouldn't be one of them, especially if they are a good father. Having the title of being a baby daddy shouldn't be one of the things that they have to fight to prove their loyalty or their worthiness of. And so just like baby mama, we have to change the narrative. We have to think differently when it comes down to our fathers, because there are a lot of great fathers out there who are doing the dang thing, okay? And there are some fathers who aren't, and that's just simply said. But with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please join in the conversation. If you are a father who falls into the category of being a baby daddy, let me know your feelings. Let the world know your thoughts. Let's address it so that we can get a better perspective on how you guys feel and how to better treat you and address you. So as always, thank you for watching. Join the conversation in the comment section below. Like this video if you like it, and share it if you really find it inspirational, motivational, and moving. And just the transparency of it. I thank you to all of my listeners. I thank you to my interviewees, especially my dad, who just went on a rant and didn't even let me ask him certain questions. I am extremely grateful. So with that being said, you guys be great with greatness, and I will see you next week.